Hello friends, I'm Aftab from Easy Approach, and in this video we are going to make a simple gallery application in which user would be able to pick images, either single or even he can select multiple images. So we are actually using a FilePicker package for this purpose. And then once he select the file will be uploaded to Firebase storage. And if he wants to see all the images so far that he has in the gallery, he can go to the gallery screen by tapping on this icon, and then the gallery screen will show all the uploaded images on this screen. So if I break down the whole task into a small task, so the first thing that we are going to do is we will integrate Firebase with our Flutter project so that we can later on use Firebase storage for storing the files, and we can use Firebase Firestore to store the references of the images that we have uploaded so far. Then the second thing that we are going to use in our application, and that actually we are going to do, is using FilePicker Package that actually allows multiple files to be selected, more specifically images, because we are going to make a gallery application. So that's why we are going to use it for images only. And then we have to manage the uploads of the picked files to the Firebase storage. So we will write the code for uploading the files that the user has picked to the Firebase storage. And then at the last, we will store the references of the file that we have uploaded so far on Firebase storage, and then we will retrieve all the references of the uploaded files so that we can see all the images on the gallery screen. So I've created a brand new Flutter project to start things from the scratch. So the very first thing that we have to see is we have to see what are the dependencies that we are going to use in this project to make things work. So the dependencies that we have to use, actually I've copied all the dependencies, I just need to paste here. So the dependency that we are going to use are actually 4 dependencies that we have to add in our publishpack.yaml file. The first one is the file picker, and I have used the version 2.1.7. It's not the latest because I haven't upgraded to 2.0, Flutter 2.0. That is why I cannot use the latest one. But if you are using 2.0, you definitely need to have the latest version of it. Then I have the Cloud Firestore, and I'm just I'm not specifying actually the version, so it will just choose the best one. And then I have used the Firebase core that is actually required in order to use any functionality or any feature from the Firebase in our Flutter project. And then at the last, we have Firebase storage that will allow us to store the picked files that user has picked using FilePicker package. And this Cloud Firestore will be for storing the references of the uploaded files so that later on we can retrieve all those references and we can see on the gallery image. So these are the dependencies that we need to add in our project. Now the second thing that we have to do is we have to integrate the Firebase with our Flutter project. So what I've done so far, I have created a Firebase project that's actually completely new project, and I'm just gonna do it for Android, but you can also do it for iOS. So for adding the Android project, you have to register your app. So first you have to specify the Android package name that you can get by going in the Android module inside your project, and then you have to go in the app, and then we have a build.gradle. And inside it, you can find the application ID, and that's actually what you have to paste over there. So let's go back to the Firebase, and you have to paste this one. And then you have to specify the nickname. I can just give it gallery, and then you have to specify the debug signing certificate. It's not actually required in the case what we are actually doing, so we can just continue to the register app. And then we have to download this Google services.json file, and we have to paste it inside the app folder that's actually inside the Android module. So what I can do, I can first locate this file. Here it is. And then what I can do, you can see this is the app folder, and this is the folder in which we have to paste this file. So simply you can just Okay, so so here it is, the file. So you can just drag it and you can just drop inside the app. So you can see the file is now inside this app folder, and that's what you have to do. Now what we have to do, we have to go back to the next thing, and you can see we first have to, in this step, we have to open the project level build.gradle file, and we have to paste this line inside the dependencies. So let's open the project build.gradle. So inside the app you have this app level Gradle file, and then in the Android you have the project level build file. So we have to paste it inside dependencies. If I'm not wrong, you can recheck it. So we have build a script, inside it we have repositories and dependencies, and in the dependencies you have to paste. So it's all right. Then we have to proceed to the next step, and then we have to open the app level build.gradle file that's actually in the app folder, and then we have to add these couple of things. So firstly we have to add this line after the apply plugin com.android line. So let's open the build.gradle and let's find for this line. Here it is, and after that you can just paste it. And then we have this file. It's not actually required, but let's implement or add this line as well. And for the Firebase analytics, I'm not sure we are going to use, but still let's add this so that we can complete the process. So we have done all the steps. Now you can just click on next, and then you can continue to the console, and your application, which is actually Flutter application, has now been added to the Firebase project. Now before proceeding to coding, we have to do few things. We have to enable the Firebase storage, and we have to enable the Firebase Firestore, because we are going to use these services from the Firebase backend. So let's open this first, the storage, which is actually okay, here it is. And then what we have to do, we have to click on this get started, and then this will ask us. Okay, so you can select any storage, because we are just testing, we don't have to really care about. It will take some time, probably not if you have good internet. Now the thing that you have to really care about is you have to update the rule, because we are actually in the testing mood. We are not actually in the development mood. So you can just remove this thing. This is actually the check, and you can just make it true. So this will allow us to store file without actually authentication of the user, that if the user is authenticated or not. It just anyone can who is actually registered to this Firebase project can upload the file on this Firebase storage. Now the second thing is we have to configure the Firestore database. So let's open this and let's create database. And similarly, you can just use this start in test mode, because we are actually in testing mode, and then we can enable it. So this will be good. Now we can use these two services. I think we don't have to change this, but if we will face any problem, we can just make it if true, or we can just right now we can do it if true. Okay, so we have enabled the Firestore service, and we have enabled the Fire Storage service, and we are good to now proceed with the coding. First of all, let's close all those unnecessary files. And let's start from this main.dart file. Make sure you hit this get dependency so that it installs all the dependency that's required in this project. And once they are installed, you can just minimize the console. And let's get rid of this default code that's actually the counter application. And let's minimize this Android, because we are going to have two screens in this project. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first create a screen package so that we can keep things organized. And inside the screen, I'm gonna make two Dart files. The first one will be for upload screen. That will be the default screen or the first screen. And the second screen would be the gallery screen in which we can see all the uploaded files or the images actually. So let's name it gallery screen. That's great. And let's write a simple code for this. Let's create a stateful widget and let's name it upload screen. And make sure you import material.dart so that it removes all the error. And let's have a scaffold as a base or the root widget for this screen, because we have to have the material UI components on the screen. And let's do the same thing for the other screen, which is the gallery screen. Okay, so I have actually written the code in the gallery screen. So this should be in upload screen. And then what we can do, we can rename, or we can search for the upload and we can change it to gallery. So that's actually the feature of Android Studio. You can select multiple instances of tags and you can replace it at once. So that's great. And now what we can do, because you can see we have error because my home page is not available, you can just give the reference of upload screen, which is the default screen. Okay, so let's restart the application. This should show a blank screen, and there you go. So first thing first, let's go in upload screen and let's have a reference of Firebase storage and Firestore, because we need to have both in this screen. And you can get the reference using Firebase Firestore .instance, and then you have to do similar Firebase storage, and you can get the instance of Firebase storage using Firebase storage.instance. Now for each of the uploaded task, we will show the progress on the default screen. So we need to have the list of the uploaded task. So you will understand it later, but let's just first create list of upload task. So it will contain all the information of the currently uploading task, that it's actually how much it is uploaded and what file is being uploaded, and if it is completed or not, all this information. So let's name it uploaded task. And let's go, before going further, let's create a simple UI for this screen. So I'm gonna have a app bar with a simple text on it, and let's give it a gallery app. So let's refresh it, and I'm also gonna have a floating action button for uploading images. So whenever the user would tap on the floating action button, it will open the pop-up so that user can select images from the Android system. So let's use floating action button, and inside it you have to have on press defined. For now let's leave it empty, but we'll surely gonna work on this. And let's have the child widget, which will be an icon for add. So let's refresh it and see what we have on the screen. So that's exactly what we need to have in this screen. And let's define the body as well. So let's come at the bottom and let's define the body. So if we don't have any uploaded task so far, so we can just check the length. If it is 0, it means right now we don't have any task that's actually in the queue, and we don't have any image that is being uploaded. So what we can do, we can simply just show a text which is please tap on add button to upload images. Okay, if I refresh this, so there's some error because we have to give the else part also. So for now let's give empty container in the else part, because the first case will be run, because right now we don't have anything in the task list. So let's refresh it. Okay, so you can see it's coming at the top. We don't want it to be on the top, so we can just wrap this thing in the center and then it will come at the center. Now let's write the code for picking file, for let user pick the file from the Android system. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a feature and it will be select files to upload, something like this. You can give any name that makes sense to you. And what we have to do, we have to use async also, because inside it we are going to use a wait keyword. So we have to have this async keyword after the function name and the brackets. And then what you have to do, we are going to use try, because we have to make sure that we don't get any exception. And in case we get any exception, we can just simply print the exception. Okay, so what we are going to do actually for letting user to pick files from the system. So we have actually some code, which is firstly we have to have FilePicker result, which is the return type once user pick the file, and you can just make it result. And then we have FilePicker, and inside it we have platform, and inside it we have pick files. And there are some things that you can define as a parameter. The first one is allow multiple, because we are going to allow multiple, we can just make it true. And also because it's actually a feature, we have to use here a wait keyword. And the second thing that we are going to have in the parameter is we only have to allow the file extensions, only the images. So you can give type, and you can give here file type dot images. So that's what you have to do. And then we can simply check if we have a null result that we can get in case user cancel the upload and he just close the dialog before selecting any. So in that case, you can just simply print on the console that user has cancelled the selection or anything. And inside it, you will get the selected files that user has actually selected. So you can see inside the result we have files. So you can use these files to upload on the Firebase storage. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna store all the files that's actually user selected, and I'm gonna store it temporarily in a list of files, because I'm not gonna upload the files right in this block of code. So I will upload the files later. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a list of file, and make sure you upload import the dart.io instead of .html. So, and let's make a list of selected files. By default it will be empty, definitely, but we will surely going to add the users selected files in this selected files list. So let's go inside the result. Inside it we have files, and what we can do, we can use for each, and we can traverse each of the file that's actually user selected ones. And for each of the file we can get the, this is actually, you can see this is the file is actually platform file type, but we have to cast it into file object. So let's convert it into file object. So for converting it, you can just make the instance file, and you can use the constructor file, and the platform file has the path property. You can just specify the path property. File cannot be referenced because before it's declared. So we have used the same names here. So you can change this one. So this is selected file. You can, and then we can simply add this user selected file into selected files list, so that we can use later this list of files to upload on the Firebase storage. So over here you can specify the file. And just to make sure that before adding so just to make sure before adding a file into selected files list, which is actually temporary list, we have to remove all the previous things that's actually present in this. The first time, obviously, the selected files will have no item in the list. However, if the user would be going for the second attempt to upload some files, so it will definitely have some previous files, and we don't want it to be re-uploaded on the server. So we have to make sure before actually uploading, or before actually adding file that's actually user selected at that time into the selected files list, you have to make sure that it does not contain the previous files, so that we can just upload only the file that's a user selected at a particular time or at a particular instance. Now what we'll do next, for each of the file that's actually present in the selected files, we are going to perform upload operation so that we can upload each file on the Firebase storage. So right now we don't have the code for upload, but surely we are going to have it soon. So you can just traverse each file that is present in the selected file list. I separated the code for uploading so that we can keep things managed and clear. I haven't actually uploaded all the files. I could do in this blog also, but I want to keep things simple and clear. So that's why I created a file list, and then separately I'm creating the code for the uploading. Now what we can do simply, we can have a task instance, and we can upload the file to Firebase storage. You can just name it upload file to storage, and inside it you can just pass file, and you will get the, right now we don't have the function for upload file to storage, but we are going to have it. So let's right now just create a function. Okay, let's keep it inside the widget. Okay, so it will return us the task instance, which will be upload task instance. And what we will do actually, we will simply use set state, and we will add this task into the upload task list. So let's rename it to upload tasks. So you can simply add this task. I'm actually adding this task into upload task list so that I can show all the tasks progress on the front screen, so the user can see what's actually happening and the progress of the files that he are actually opting for uploading to the Firebase server. So we can just simply use upload task.add, and we can simply just pass task. Now let's write the code for this upload files to storage, which will actually upload the file that's actually this file, and it will upload it to Firebase storage. So what you have to do, we'll make the upload task instance, and let's name it task. and we have to get the Firebase storage reference, and inside it you can get the reference. It will provide you the root reference of the Firebase bucket. And then what you can do, you can simply call child, and here you have to specify the reference of the file that you want to install in the Firebase storage, actually the place where you have to install, where you have to store the file, that's actually this file. So what you can do, simply you can, I'm actually gonna create images folder, and no worries if you don't have the folder already created, it will create it yourself of itself actually. And here you can specify the file name. So what I'm gonna do, for random file names or for unique file names, I'm gonna use the date time reference, the current date time actually. So you can just call datetime.now, and inside it you have to a string, and this is how you can create the random name which will be unique. And then inside it we have put file, and here you can specify the file, and this is this will return, this put file will return the upload task, and we have actually stored it in task. So what we can do after it, we can just simply return the task from this function. Now this task has so many things. You can see it's actually has a snapshot. It has a snapshot events that will provide us the detail of what's actually happening right now. You can listen to the events, and you can see the progress. You can get the total bytes that needs to be uploaded. You can get the bytes transferred. So it has all the things. You can get the state also inside it. You can see if it is uploaded, if it is it gives any error, it fails, or all the things, all the progress related stuff. So that's why we have actually returning the upload task instance from this method. So now you can see we have used here upload file to storage. So this will definitely upload the file to the Firebase storage. Okay, so it's giving some error. What's actually this? Okay, so we have actually changed, we have added as to this upload task, and that's why it's giving error. So far we have actually uploaded the file to the Firebase storage, but that's not actually what we have to do. We have to not just upload the file to the Firebase storage, but we need to get the reference of this uploaded file, and we need to store it to the Firebase Firestore also, so that we can retrieve the images that we have stored, because we cannot get the reference of all of the files that's actually in the Firebase storage. We need to store those references on Firebase Firestore. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna actually create the save image URL to Firestore method, and inside it I'm gonna pass the task instance, because the upload task will be required for this purpose. Now let's create this function, and we would have upload task instance as a parameter. Now what we have to do, we have to use this task, and we have a snapshot events, which is actually a stream, and that actually provides you the progress of the task that's actually in process. And you can listen this, and inside it you can get the task a snapshot instance. So you can just make it a snapshot, and what you can do inside it, you can simply first check if the task that's actually we are getting this instance inside the stream, if it is completed or not. So for checking if it is completed, you can get the snapshot.state, and inside it we can have task state. Actually here it is, and we have different states of the task. The first one is running, success, error, cancel, pause. So we are going to use this success. And if it is successfully completed, we can simply use a snapshot that reference, and inside it we have get download URL, which is actually a feature that will return us a string. So what we can do, we can use inside then. So this is the actually a string or the image URL that we are actually looking for. So we have actually gotten the image URL from the task instance that's actually recently selected by the user, and we have uploaded it on Firebase storage using select file to upload, and it has returned us the task instance, and we have used the task instance to get download URL path actually, which is the image path that we can use to show the image. Now what we can do, we have gotten the image URL. We just need to write this image URL to Firebase storage or to Firebase Firestore. You can just name it Firestore. So right now we don't have this function, but we are definitely gonna have this. So let's create this function also, and let's have a string image URL parameter that needs to be written on the Firebase Firestore. So inside it, what we can do, we can first get the Firebase Firestore instance, and then we can call the collection. And here I'm gonna make a collection of images. So if it's not present already, you don't have to worry about it. Firebase Firestore will create itself. And then inside it, we can add a map of data. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add URL in the map, and here I can just pass image URL. And as it is a feature, this add is actually a feature. You can call this when complete. So inside it, you can simply call print, and you can just print a message on the console so that you can yourself make sure that the file is uploaded. So we have image URL, so you can just write image URL is saved in Firestore. Okay, so that's what you have to do. So now we have uploaded the file on Firebase storage, and we have stored the reference of the image URL to the Firebase. Now we just have to work on the UI to show all the uploaded images on the gallery screen, and we just have to show the upload task progress in the form of list on this upload screen. Now first of all, for showing the progress of each of the tasks that's actually currently ongoing task, so we have to use, rather than just empty container, we have to use a list view. So let's create a list view, and we are going to use separate one so that we can separate each of the items of the list view. So first of all, we have to specify the item count, how many items we would have in this list. So it all depends on task list, so which is uploaded task. So we can get the length, and then we have the separator builder. So here we have to specify the context and index, and then you could simply return the divider widget. And in the item builder, we will specify how the item for this list, how the item will be. So first of all, we have context, and then we have index, and inside it, we are going to use, for each item, we are going to use an stream builder, because each task has its own task snapshot that actually provides the stream of events that's actually happening behind the scene for each of the tasks, that provides you the information, how many bytes are actually so far stored or uploaded, and the total number of bytes, and if the file is uploaded or not. So all these information is associated with each of the task instance that's actually in this list. So we have to use a stream for each of the item for the list view. So let's create stream builder, and let's format this. And you have to use here task snapshot, because we are going to use this task snapshot stream. So for the stream, you can get the stream from the tasks, uploaded task, and you can specify the index, and inside it you have a snapshot events, which is actually the type of it is task snapshot. So that's great. And let's specify the builder. So first one, we have context, and the second thing is we have a snapshot. And let's format it. So that's great. So this snapshot instance would have the information, would have the variable progress for each of the tasks that's actually in this upload task list. So you can have the information of how many bytes is stored, have already stored in the Firebase storage, and if this particular file that's actually this instance is associated with has been actually successfully stored or not. So you can get all this information in this snapshot instance. So we can render the UI according to this snapshot instance. So first we have to check if we have gotten any data in this snapshot, because it may be the case when there is no data in this snapshot while actually the file is being uploading. So what we have to do, you can simply check the connection state, and if the connection state is in waiting, it means you have to wait for the data to come. So what you can do simply, so in the case of waiting state, you can just simply return circular progress indicator, okay, for each of the item. However, if it is the case that you get some after that, if you don't have the connection state in the waiting, then you have two options. You may have received the error, or you may have received the data. So in case you receive the error, you can simply return the text widget, and it will say something like there is some error in uploading file. However, if you have the snapshot and you receive the data, then in this case the UI would be different. So in this case, I'm gonna use the list style, and ultimately in the else we can just simply have an empty container. So that's what you have to do. So it's actually giving some error because we have a lot of information over there. So let's see what's happening. Okay, so we have actually missing the return statement, and then it's good to go. Now in the case of when we have data, so what we can do, we can show the progress of the uploading task. So in the title of the list style, I'm gonna use a text widget, okay, sorry, and inside it we can use the snapshot, and inside it we have the data, and inside it we have transfer bytes. So it's actually the bytes that has been transferred so far. So let's have the string, and let's write it inside the braces. So these are the bytes that actually has been transferred, and so I'm gonna create some meaningful string from the amount of data we have, and here you can just give the total bytes. So it will kind of give you the information of what's happening right now with the task that's in the queue. And we can also do a thing inside the snapshot.data. We have a state, and we can also utilize this as state. So let's check if it is completed. So if it is success, then in this case we can have a string. Sorry, we have to put it inside it. We can have a string completed, else there may be two possibilities. So let's copy the same thing and let's paste it here. So if it is not success, and rather than if it is running state, it means it's currently in progress. So let's write here in progress. However, the last case would be the error case, in which you get some error. So if it's not in running, it's not in success, it means there's some error. So this is how we will show the progress of the task. So I think we have so far we have completed everything for the task screen, for the upload screen actually, and then we will later work on the gallery screen. So yeah, that looks great. Okay, so inside the onPress we have to call the select file to upload. Okay, so this will not only let user select file, but it will also upload the file on the Firebase storage, and then it will upload the file URL or the upload task URL to the Firebase Firestore. So let's just call here, which is a future select file to upload, and that's all you have to do before running the application. And now let's open the terminal so that we can see the console, and let's run this application. Okay, so it's actually saying that you have to call firebase.initialize app before using the Firebase service. So what we can do, we can go in the main, and before running the application we can call the initialize. Let's make it async, and let's call initialize okay, we have Firebase dot initialize. And before this line, because we are actually before running the application, which is a Flutter application, we actually trying to communicate with Flutter framework, so we have to ensure the Flutter binding. So it is widgets Flutter binding, and we have to make sure that it's initialized before initialize app would get called. Okay, now let's run the application. So this time it's giving some new error. So it's actually multi-dex error. So you can open the link in order to fix it. And let's come at the bottom. Okay, so these are two lines that you have to add in your build.gradle file. So let's open the build.gradle file, which is the app one. Sorry, the app, which is inside the app. So in the default config, you have to paste this line, multi-dex enable true. And in the dependencies, you have to add this implementation line. Okay, that's it. Now let's run the application. Surely, hopefully this will run now. You can see the application is restarted and running perfectly, but let's test the feature. So if I tap on this button, this should open the file picker dialog. And you can see it's asking for the permission, so let's allow it. And it's actually opened the dialog. So let's select some image, or let's select a single image. You can see it's showing the progress, and it's actually showing it's completed. So let's see, and it's also saying that this reference is saved in Firebase storage. So let's make sure that it's really is stored or not. So if I go in data, which is a Firebase Firestore, so you can see there's an images collection inside it. It's contain a random document, and you can see in the URL we have the image reference, and if I use this reference, so you can see we are getting this image on Firebase storage. So you can also make sure that it's actually stored. You can go in the Firebase storage and you can find your picked image in the images folder. So here it is. So that's actually great. So we have completed the first screen. The second screen would be pretty forward and would be a little shorter than this one. So for this gallery screen, we don't have to write so much code because we just need to get the references from the Firebase Firestore. So we don't have to use the Firebase storage in this screen. So let's create the Firebase Firestore instance, and you can get the instance by using Firebase Firestore.instance, and that's what you need. And inside the scaffold, I'm gonna have a body with the container so that I can apply some padding, and let's have some padding of 8 pixels. And in the content, I'm gonna use a stream builder because I will get the data from the Firebase Firestore, and I will receive a query snapshot stream actually. So in the stream, what you can do, you can write Firebase Firestore instance, and inside it you can get collection, and here you can specify the collection path, which is images, and then you can just simply call doc. No? Okay, so you have to call get method, which is actually a future, and that will actually return you the future of query snapshot. But we actually need to get the stream of the snapshot, so we have to see what's actually the method for it. Okay, so we have a snapshots, so it will return you the live updates of the data that's actually in the Firebase Firestore, so you can listen to the changes in it also. So in the context, you can just pass here context, and then you have a snapshot, which is an instance of query snapshot. And first of all, you can see if the snapshot has error. So in case it gives you error, you can simply inside the center, inside the column, which inside the container, you can just use center widget, and you can just have a text widget indicating that there is some problem loading your images. However, if you get the data, then what you have to do, we can use grid view dot count. So you can specify here the cross-axis count. So I want 2 images in a row. Let's format the code. And in the children, okay, let's have the main axis spacing. Let's have 16, and let's have cross-axis spacing. So the cross-axis will be probably for the vertical spacing between the items, and the main axis will be for the sorry, the cross axis will be horizontal and the main axis will be vertical, or it may be alternate. I actually mix these things often. And in the children, and let's give the aspect ratio of 1 so that it has all the item would have a square in size. And at the loss we would have children, and you can get the snapshot.data, and inside it we have documents again. So for each, no, we can map each document into an image. So because we are using the URL for the image, so we have to use image.network, and inside it, this is query snapshot. You can get the field that you are interested in. So I'm interested in the field URL, because you can see if I go back to the Firebase Firestore database, you can see in the document we have a key named URL. So if you want to get the value of this, you have to use .get, and then you have to use the thing that the key that you want to get value of. So this is it, and here you have to use toList. So that's actually what you have to do. Okay, so we have to use the else part also. Inside it, you can just specify a container, which is an empty container. Also, in order to come on this screen, we need to make a link somehow. So in the upload screen, what we can do, we can have action in the app bar, and we can have an icon button inside it. So in the icon, we can just show some gallery sort of image if we have. Okay, so we first have to use the icon widget, and inside it we have to specify. So we don't have gallery, but we have a photo, so let's use this. And in the on press, we can just write the code for navigation. So let's write some boilerplate code. Navigation, navigator.push, context, material, page route. Let's pass here the context, and let's just return the gallery screen. Okay, so that's it. So let's run the application again. So you can see it's reopened the application, and if I go to this, because we have right now one image in the gallery, so let's open this screen. This should show us one image, and you can see it's showing the image. And if I if I select this one, okay, so it's showing pretty big circular progress indicator. But anyways, it's you can see it's uploaded. The image is uploaded, and you can see now we have a couple of images. Now let's see if we can select. Oh my God! Again, I tap on single. Okay, so it actually opened the image. So it's actually taking so long. I'm not sure why. So it must be some internet issue. What we can do to fix this large circular progress indicator, we can just wrap it inside the center. And let's restart the application. And this time let's open the console also and see what's what we have in the gallery. So we have these three images. Okay, let's select this one. Okay, this is uploaded, and now select another one. This is also uploaded. So what's it is actually doing, it's just showing the current task progress, and it is making the previous task go in waiting state, and that's why it's showing the progress indicator. So what we can do, we can we can remove this block of code and then we can test it. Okay, so this time if I select some image, this one, so the image is uploaded, and if I select some other image, so okay, so this time it's working. So there may be some issue with the progress indicator. We need to handle it perfectly, but as we have some limited time, and you can see we have achieved what we want to achieve, what we wanted to achieve. So you can see it's completed. We have the gallery application. So you can this is the basics, and you can extend this knowledge and you can make it a perfect application. You can show it, you can show the progress indicator. You can also add the features for removing and updating the image, or any sort of information, or any sort of feature you can add. You can add the filter feature it, and you can extend it to the next level. So this is it from this video. If you like the video, please give a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and share the videos with those who want to learn Flutter with easy approach. So thank you for watching.